We're live. J-Mar, we're live. J-Mar, just give me the nod. We're live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Camel Livestream. And big shout out, AJ. How are you, mate? Big love to everyone in, good old down south, right? Eating crawfish and all that stuff. Well, one day I'll get to see you, mate. One day I'll get to see you. Everyone else, welcome, welcome, welcome. All the Camel crew and all our wonderful agency mates all over the world. Getting very popular, our little live stream. I'm very, very excited. And we're going to start off today. I actually want to give a bit of a shout out today. Bit of a shout out to Apple. All right, yesterday Apple released their, what's it called again? Vision Pro. Vision Pro. Now, the resident guru of new products and services, which is Clarissa, right? Clarissa's turned around, hey, Daddy Shane. That's for my beautiful wife and my awesome daughter, Annie. Mwah, 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 Annie, I love you, baby. Okay, so anyway, this headset, this new virtual reality headset, I'm so in love with it. I think it's fabulous. I think it's awesome, sensational. Why am I saying that? Because, folks, at $3,499 USD, right, I can't afford it. So I'm hoping if I say Apple, 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 and we show the phones and all that, that Apple will find out how exciting and wonderful the Camel Livestream is, and they'll send me one. No? Maybe not. So anyway, that was our first shout out for today. But let's get stuck into it now. Notice we've got new glasses, but these ones have a terrible habit of falling on my head. So I put them up there and put them in there. But anyway, we're good to go. First up, as per usual, let's have a drum roll, please. Let's talk about the good, the bad, the ugly this week of AI. And we got this one, the big winners this week. We got this from the internet. We looked, and when we typed in AI news for the week, we got this was the number one hit. Best tools for business. And folks, I've got to be honest with you. The best tools, as voted, and we'll go through a few of them, right? The big areas of desire for AI is anything to do with text, so chats and all that sort of stuff. Videos, very, very huge. This is what business has got the hots for when it comes to AI, right? And the reason they got the hots for that is because they truly believe that it will make them leaner, meaner, supermen, jump tall buildings in huge single bounds and make incredible revenues and higher profits. That's why they're excited about it, right? In fact, this morning on the Duda community page, there was actually, I got a bit of a flogging this morning on that. My name was mentioned all over the place many, many times. And the point about it was that one agency was so excited because this week he actually used AI to make his first widget, which was Carousel, which he was very proud of. And we'll give him a shout out and a clap for that because he did a good job. But then he asked, question of all the agencies, he said, has anyone got any advice on what I should do? Anyway, me, what did I type? I typed in, don't get too tied up in it that you forget about everything else. What is everything else? Getting customers and making money. Because AI, one of the problems I'm seeing with it is people are getting so wrapped up in playing with it. Then what happens is, right, I'll move my camera there because that way it was straight. Right. Then what happens is that they end up, it's like a game, right? It becomes like an app, J-Mar, right? Like me when I want to play golf and I'll be sitting there for an hour if I get stuck into it. To some people, that AI can get the same thing, where you get so excited about asking the questions and it giving you wonderful answers, or you get so excited about making pictures, all right, like my great friend Phil the courtier does, which he does. Phil, you do a tremendous job, right? But you can spend an awful lot of time on it, and that's a bit of a worry. But let's just quickly go through some of these tools that people love. There's 10 best ones. First one was Pictory. That was number one. Now, that's an AI video generator that enables you to easily create and edit high-quality videos. Now, I see the bonus in that good idea. You know, you want to make videos for your business. Clarissa, how many videos do we do? So many, right? But we do them all because they star me, right? But imagine if, you know, there's big things about having video on your Facebook pages. That will get you more likes and looks than anything. So I reckon that's a good thing. Pictory, because it allows that, you know, small agency owner to get out there and make some videos very, very quickly, because editing is a skill, right? So Pictory gets a bit of a shout out from us, all right? Another one was Jasper, and it got number 2, and that's an AI writing assistant leading the market with its impressive features and quality. And it's the first to provide with seed words. Now, what does that mean? Seed words. Analyzes before creating phases, paragraphs, or documents. It's capable of producing 1,500 word articles in less than 15 minutes. Now, I can write an 1,100 word blog in probably about 10 minutes. Yeah? But that's when the juices are flowing, folks. So I'll sit back and, you know, the slave master, Clarissa, who's in charge of all the marketing, will say, boss, it's January the 2nd, we need a blog. And I'll go, oh, yeah, I've got to get a blog. But I'm one of those people. I'm a very creative writer, but I've got to get the creative juices flowing. I've got to get an idea. Once I got the idea, folks, I am stopping no stations, and I can write 1,100 words in 10 minutes, right? But I write hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of blogs. I've been writing for a long time. The little agency out there that, you know, maybe they were a plumber and decided that they wanted to be selling websites, it's not easy for them to write 1,000 word, 400 word blog. Well, something like Jasper could be a good thing, right? So we'll give Jasper a bit of a cheer. Next one, I love the name of this, Murph. Murph. Oh, that Murph.
I like it.
Murph, number 3. Okay, so I'm going to go to the top 3. And topping our list, best AI tools for business is the text-speech generator Murph, which is one of the most popular and impressive AI voice generators in the market. Now, why is Murph good? It enables you to convert text-to-speech, voiceovers, dictations. And it's used by a wide range of professionals like product developers, podcasters, educators, and business leaders. But why do I like it? For the average agency who is not used to producing product-worthy content, right? Murph's a good thing, because they can make something that sounds really sexy and gorgeous without having a lot of marketing experience, and away you go. So those 3, which is Pictory, Jasper, and Murph, are all good things. And while we're at it, this last 2 weeks, I think we mentioned it last week, due to, you know, they've released their AI content in. It's a great thing. For a smaller agency, wonderful. Because instead of outsourcing, and I'm telling you, sometimes content can cost more than the website design, right? Now, who's going to be able to afford that? And the average small business website doesn't need super sophisticated, you know, wonderful, entertaining text, right? Written by a marketing professional who spent 5 years getting a degree. It's happy just to have a pretty sexy, basic, about us and some things about your product. That's why I like this stuff. So you will get no canning of AI from me, J-Mar. And I've got a bit of a reputation of canning AI, which we'll get to in a minute, right? Right? But the thing is, there's 3 good products. Why? You can do it cost effectively. You can do it by yourself. And for the agencies that are out there selling websites where it's just them, you're not going to make $1 million just selling websites. Right? I said this every week I say this. Where you're going to make your money is, Clarissa, value-added services. Everyone agree?
Yeah.
Agree. We should have a hallelujah, hallelujah. We haven't got a hallelujah, have we?
I put it in my list.
We should get a hallelujah button. You know, when I say something that's prophetic, all right? And you know, you have that Jesus moment where the angels start flying out of my words, right? So I'm being prophetic, folks. You're not going to make $1 million by just flogging websites. I think AJ would be sitting in the background going, preach it, Brother Shane, preach it, right? It's true. All right? So, get out there, have a look at those three things. And if you want to even take it a step further, I guarantee you, apart from those three, you'll probably find some that are FOC. And you'll be surprised what ChatGPT will do. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was the good. Now, in the history of the beautiful, wonderful Camel Livestream, it's about time we do the bad. Sorry about that. So what have we got this week, folks? All right, first of all, right, hot off the press, CBS News, right? This is all CBS stuff. It's not me, folks. This is all Ridgy-did stuff from big newspapers. IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, warns sirens, right? Ambulances run around everywhere, fire engines. They warn, right? For those wondering, right? AI risk is substantial. The substantial disruptions in jobs market, warns IMF official. Now, last week I talked about India having all this massive unemployment thing. What the IMF is saying is, hello, stop the bus. It's just not India we have to worry about, it's the world. Now, is that true? CBS News said, for those wondering when AI will start replacing human jobs, stop the press, the answer is already here. Artificial intelligence contributed to nearly 4,000 job losses last month, according to data from Challenger, Gray and Christmas. What a name, right? They're a legal or a consulting firm. Hi, I wonder who Christmas is. Fancy having a name like Christmas. Anyway, as interest in the rapidly evolving technology's ability to perform advanced organisational tasks and lighten workloads has intensified. Now, how quickly did it intensify? We started our webinar, our live stream like 5 weeks ago, and I sent out warning signals. Okay, it's been going since November, and already you can see what's going on. Well, folks, in a matter of 6 weeks, people have started to lose their jobs. Now, we've already given the good, which is good things about it, marvellous, and the Camel, God bless us, we're already integrating the awesome Duda content injector. We're already looking at image content creators because we have to. We're not going to be in the game unless we start that. And I believe basic websites are going to want that. When it comes to custom sort of websites, they're still going to want human creativity and all that sort of stuff. But it's here to stay, folks, and it's already got a big grip on the basic market. You're going to have AI content, AI images, right? And AI coding basic widgets and all that sort of stuff. So, any other bad news, right? Well, really, the whole thing about AI, it's always going to be good and bad news, Jamie, right? And that's just the name of the game. But any time there's been technology upgrades, but there's never in the history of mankind been something like what AI is doing. No other moving forward, Even, I was reading the other day, even the motor car didn't have this much of an impact as fast as what AI is. Why? Because it's also being driven by itself. It's being driven by social media. It's being driven by all the amount of news that people have got. That's why it's going so fast. When they invented the motor car, right, well, what happened? It was still horse and cart days. There was still, to get a letter from one part of the world to another part of the world took 11 weeks. It was difficult, right? People are clapping and cheering, are they? All right. Moomin Hodge, great product recommendations. And she personally loves watching videos. Actually, she's a video champion. And so is my daughter.
So Miss Mummy is your wife?
Yeah. No, that's my wife.
Wow. So
that's my
fortunate.
wife. And Annie is with her. And Annie is also a 4-month-old video champion, right?
I'm jealous.
All right, hallelujah. Thank you very much, AJ. Now, so what am I saying? I believe every week there'll be good and bad news about AI. Right? I'm not canning it, right, because I use it. But we've got to see the good, bad, and the ugly. Right? We can't just have one thing. So that ends Ladies and gentlemen, clap and cheer. That ends the good, the bad, and the ugly segment of live stream. I hope you found that. Did I ruffle any feathers on that? I think I got a free, thank you, Apple, for my virtual reality headset that they're going to give me. Apple. Right.
Hey, Apple.
And we gave 3 apps a plug. And my glasses drive me mad. See this massage? They drive me mad because they go all over the shop. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So now what we're on to, you want to throw this up? You ready? Drum roll. We're going to do this quicker today. Don't forget to say hello to Chloe Koala. You're going to bring it over?
Yeah.
Where is it? Yeah, well, look at this. How professional is this? Today's conversation, 7 tips to avoid burnout when growing a business. Not yet. Got to have. J-Mar's getting all excited. He's going to put up the first slide. Right. So I haven't given him a preamble, J-Mar. I've got to, it's like, when you watch UFC.
I give you a cue. That's why.
You give me the cue. Hey, boss, it's there. Right?
We're live.
But when they got the UFC thing, right? And the announcer is there. They don't just get in the ring and start a fight, J-Mar, which is what you want to do.
Yeah.
Right? What they do is they introduce the fighters.
Mm-hmm.
So please, can I introduce the are you sure? Or you want to
Introduce the
he wants to
fighters.
jump in and start getting into it. Anyway, what do we want to talk about burnout? First of all, bit of a shout out to AJ, because this was his idea, right? And I think it's a great, quick discussion. Why? Do you know how many people out there? I was one of them, where I was working all by my little self, and I was a kitchen table entrepreneur, where I'd be sitting there from dawn till dusk, folks, and just work. The difference was, as I told you all before, I firmly believed in do what you do well, outsource the rest. So I was good at selling and writing proposals and all that sort of stuff, but I wouldn't know how to design a sew myself. I failed crayon class, right? I'm colourblind, right? As you can see by the shirt, pretty good, eh? Anyway, I'm colourblind, and I've just got no idea how to do something creative. So I would outsource all that, but I'd be sitting there dusk till dawn, looking for new customers, writing proposals, doing books and all that sort of stuff. So 7 days a week, 18 or 19 hours a day, all by my little self. Now, as time went on, I got more people. But if I allow myself to do it, I would still be in that mode where I'm growing a business, and how big do you want to grow it? I just go growing, and I'm in burnout. So we want you to avoid that because we love you. We don't want you to give your money to therapists. We don't want you to die of alcoholic poisoning or get overweight. What we want you to do is look at 7 ways to stop you. And the first slide is, look at this, folks. Hey, J-Mar, how professional and quick is that today? Oh, big clap to J-Mar. Who? And JP. Shout out to JP because he designed all the things. And look at it. I'm in the bottom. I can even see myself. Oh, give myself a shout out, right? So what's the first one? And this is the obvious one. Stop working excessive hours. Now, what's excessive hours? Anyone tell me what excessive hours are? It's more than 40 hours a week, because if you work for someone else, you'd only be working 40 hours a week. Take an hour for lunch, a couple of smokos, right? So for those that are not in Australia, a smoko is a morning break and an afternoon break. So you might be working, 25, 30 hours a week. Right? Some people work 5.
Yeah.
Get paid for 25, 30.
I work more than 8 hours.
8 hours. I work, well, I got a strange thing. I won't discuss what I work. But anyway, so first thing, stop working excessive hours, which means you've got to draw a line in the sand and say to yourself, okay, I'm working from 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning till X amount in the afternoon. And you've got to be religious about it, folks. You've got to say to yourself, especially if you've got a room or a little office or a rental office or something, you've got to be saying to yourself, at the end of the day, which I've agreed to myself, I'm going to get up, I'm going to walk out, I'm going to lock the door. Okay? That's the key to doing this. Get up, walk away. And that laptop or something like that, leave it where it's sitting or put it in your bag. So the first one, number one, stop working excessive hours. Number two, boom, look at this. Oh, we are just so professional. Number two, don't let yourself get overwhelmed. You know, when you're working just on your own, it can be so easy to get overwhelmed, where you get up in the morning and you walk out to the office, or you get in the car, or you get on your bike or whatever, and you go to another office and you sit down and you open up that computer and you've got 850 emails, which 700 of them are spam, but 150 of them are real work, right? You've got people saying, I want this, I want that, I need this, I need that. And it can get so bad that what happens is you're so overwhelmed that you don't get anything done, right? And then what happens, because you become overwhelmed, you go to number three. And what is number three? Consider how often you're making mistakes. When you're overwhelmed, when you are working far too many hours, you start making mistakes. And mistakes are dangerous. Why? They can cost you money. They can cost your clients. They can cost you long-term, short-term, middle-term relationships. And the reason you make those mistakes is you're on the way to burnout, all right? You're not making those mistakes because you're stupid, because you've done the right thing. You've got out there, you've hung the shingle, you've worked long and hard to be where you are, right? You've got a history of getting things done right. Your customers love you. And then all of a sudden, you'll get an email saying, hey, Harry, what's wrong with you? You forgot this. You'll miss appointments. I've noticed when I'm close to burnout, I forget to check Google Calendar. And I miss phone calls and Zooms and things like that, right? I'll miss saying things to Moomy. Moomy will turn around and say, hey, you're supposed to be ready. We're supposed to be going to, Kingdom Hall at 6 o'clock, and I'm not ready because I'm making all these mistakes because I'm close to burnout, right? And that leads us to the next slide. How do you stop that? Oh, you failed miserably, Joma. You were doing real well up until then. I'm now humiliating you in front of millions.
You don't know how to queue.
What's this, folks? What's that? See that? Would you class that as a cue?
So it's an air.
I gave you an air cue. Don't move it, because we're right. Set office hours, folks. Now, what do I mean by this? There's a really great book called The E-Myth. It's a long time ago it was written, and it's the entrepreneurial myth. And what it talks about, the fact is that when you start up a business, you've got to start up the business with the mentality it's going to be a big business, all right? And you've got to assign all these roles to people, which you end up doing yourself. And you've got to say, I've got an accounting role, a sales role, a marketing role, a development role, an office cleaner role, all these things, all right? And you assign those things to yourself. And you set daily tasks for those things. And then slowly but surely you get busier and busier, and you replace yourself with someone else. So what you're doing is you're pretending from the start this small business is going to operate like a big business. So setting office hours, if you are a small business owner and you're at home, right, set office hours. Turn around and have it like a little shingle above the kitchen table that says our office hours are 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. We're closed for lunch, right? Actually set office hours. So design it that your working environment is just like a big corporation or a big business, right? Set office hours. Why? Then you are conditioning yourself to work without burning out, to work reasonable hours. I mean, if you want to get really technical, you start saying to yourself, oh my God, I'm going to have to pay overtime to myself, right? Don't eat lunch sitting at your desk. Get up and walk outside and eat lunch. So you're treating your home office environment as a real office environment. And that, folks, leads us to, what's this, John? Are you ready? Slide number 5. He's got really good at this, hasn't he? Take breaks. It's a big problem when you're a small business owner and you're working at home or you're working at one of those, what are they called? Hire and office things, and you don't stop, right? If you smoke, you might go outside for a cigarette or something, or a vape or something, right? But you don't take any breaks. You don't have a real lunch break. Like me, I still work at home 80% of the time. And what do? I get up in the morning because I work stupid hours, which is I like to start work at 3 a.m., right? And what do? The first 45 minutes, grab a coffee, download my emails, away you go, check Facebook, do that sort of stuff. And then after 45 minutes, you know what I do? I take a break. And what's my break? My break is I take my dog for a walk. And I go out there and I take a little cup of coffee and what are you laughing at? You're making me worried now.
I'm so happy.
Am I doing something wrong? No?
I'm happy.
Oh, sure? Yeah. I'm paranoid. Anyway.
AJ want to say something.
What's AJ want to say? Be nice to J-Mar. We have his back. Mate, you don't know him well enough, AJ. Fair dinkum. And don't forget, I'm your brother. He's just your nephew. Anyway, where was I? Take breaks, right? After 45 minutes, I walk the dog, right? Then I work another hour and a half and I go up and that's Cuddle, Annie and Moomy time, right? And we go up there and, we are deeply sort of like religious people. So we read the daily Bible read and then I do a Bible story with Annie and then we have a play and she has tummy time and all that sort of stuff. And and I always walk up there with a cup of tea, right? I take Moomy a cup of tea. Right? And then I go downstairs and I work a little bit longer and then I take a break. What's that break? I cook breakfast. Right? Then I go up and Moomy and I and Annie, we have breakfast together, which is great. Then I do some more work and what is it then? It gets to 11 o'clock. What do I do at 11 o'clock? I start making lunch because I cook lunch at home every day. And I'm a chef. It takes me an hour and a half to make lunch. I cut, chop, and away you go. Have lunch, go back to the computer, have a look if there's any updates on CRM and all that sort of stuff. Then I have a snooze because I have my afternoon nap. Then I get up, do some more work, but at 3 o'clock, I'm done. I'm out of there. I've worked my 15, 16 hours and away I go, right? But the thing is, my whole day is intense. I got a lot of people, I got 65 plus people that I've got to talk to every day. I got a lot of customers, right, and a lot of partners. But I make sure I take breaks because if I don't, what do I start to do? Have burnouts. Now, how do you take breaks? Establish priorities. Stephen Covey, God rest his soul, who was a friend of mine, he used to always say, seek first to understand and all that sort of stuff. But one of his habits was, right, do what's important first. Not urgent, what's important, right? Because people get all tied up in urgent. You know what's urgent? If you're bleeding to death, that's urgent, right? If you've cut yourself and you're doing a Quentin Tarantino movie, right? That's urgent. But what you've got to do is work on what's important. Establish priorities. Why? All the other points we talked about are not going to happen if there's no measurement, right? Because as I always say, folks, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it, right? It deserves a drum roll and everything for that. So what are you doing with priorities? You're making a way to measure stuff, right? So you can manage it. And you're deciding what's important. Forget about what's urgent. You start running on what's urgent, you'll burn out so fast, right? And, you get people, they send you a message, this is so urgent, so urgent. Well, are you dying? If you're not dying, it's not urgent, right? So let's look at establishing priorities. You've got to turn around and say, what am I going to do today? What am I going to do in my life? What am I going to do in my business? What are the priorities in my business? Let me give you one priority. Make money. Because if you don't make money, Clarissa, you don't eat. If you don't eat, you die. Very simple. And dying is urgent. We've already said that. So, what's important? What's a priority? Make money. So therefore, anything that is a asset to making money is a priority. So what does that mean? Finding new customers, talking to customers, right? Organising things that will entice customers, managing customers, all that stuff, that's a priority. And any activity that goes to support those things is important. So therefore it becomes a priority. What's another priority? Getting stuff done to support sales, which means making money, so you eat and you don't die, right? So what's another priority? Getting work done. What's that mean? If you have to build the website yourself, you've got to prioritise that time. But remember, and this is where a lot of them fall into trouble, they get so tied up in building the website, they forget, oops, we've got no customers for the next one, right? So your priority should be make money. Because why? If you don't make money, you don't eat, you die. So if you want to really stop burnout, all you got to do is follow those 6. Where was the 7th? Was only 6? Was there 7? I thought there was 7. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the management, I've lied. There was 7? Hang on a sec, we've got a technical thing here. What was the 7th one? Oh, 7. There was 7. Oh, and AJ stuck up for you, right? What happened? What's number 7?
You can read this for now, boss.
What is 7?
Aries and Stella.
Stella. Take is essential for recharging both your body and mind. Stella, you nailed it, girl.
And easy.
Aries, stop working excessive hours. Maximise and making your working hours more productive. You nailed it, buddy. There's no 7?
No.
What's number 7?
For the 7.
There is no 7. Oh, the kids.
Talk to them.
Oh, the
first.
kids. They've said number 7.
Set goals.
Set goals. Okay, so number 7. But ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the management, I want to apologise on your behalf. You ready for this?
It's a technical difficulty.
We got a technical difficulty.
They didn't provide.
Actually, it's JP's fault.
It's my fault. Sorry.
Don't ever volunteer for bloody your fault.
No, boss, it's my
No.
fault.
It's JP's fault. Let's all agree it's JP's fault.
JP did one.
Oh, anyway,
I forgot to download it.
okay, shut up. We all forgot. The last one is set goals. Right? Why do you set goals? Because if you turn up every day thinking, what am I going to do today? That's what you're going to do. Nothing. Right? But if you set a goal, and that be a goal on your time, a goal on your productivity, a goal on your sales, a goal on the amount of customers you talk to, right? If you set a goal, right? And if you don't set a goal, make setting a goal your goal, right? Establish priorities, set goals, and all these things will fall into place. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I guarantee you, you will not suffer from burnout. You will have a better business. You will be happier, rich and famous. Your family will love you. They will build statues in your honour. And I'm telling you, you'll be honoured by thousands because you'll be happy, right? And when you're happy, you make more money. I make the most money when I'm happy and having fun. When I'm miserable, depressed, and when I focus on urgent, I'm a loser. I tell you, so fast, right? Don't forget to save and share this post. Yeah, on Facebook, what you've got to do is make sure you share and say wonderful, fantastic things about us. Say, oh my God, how good was this live stream? I was so entertained. I was educated. This should be watched by thousands of millions of people, especially Apple. So we get one of those virtual reality headsets. And Moomy, I will give it to you, I promise. If I do get one from Apple, I'll give it. So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed that little don't suffer from burnout. A lot of people enjoyed that. They're all cheering. Everyone in the background. Oh, you experienced burnout. That's why you made a mistake today. I'd shut up if I was you, Joe, mate. Get it, just shut up, okay? Even though you got a cheerleader with your mate AJ, right? Right, and away you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our webinar today. I want to thank Apple, one of our major sponsors. I want to thank, actually, Ballantyne Scotch. Got to give Ballantyne Scotch a thank because they've helped me the last few days. I want to thank my beautiful wife, my wonderful daughter Annie. I want to thank Clarissa over here. I want to thank J-Mar over here. OBS Studio. We want to thank them for, what do they do?
Live streaming.
Oh, live stream. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Zuckerberg, another major sponsor of ours. All right. Thank you very much. Hero, what are you saying? You feel the love, Hero. Of course you do, because I love you. All right. What else is there? Moomin Hodge. Love your humour. I love you too, Mahal. Love you, AJ. All right. What else? I thank all their sponsors. Hyundai for driving me here today. KTM for tomorrow. What else? Everyone? We're all good? Oh, McDonald's. Oh, and on behalf of, I want to thank everyone for McDonald's. My breakfast this morning was superb, but I forgot the ketchup. How bad was that? So, ladies and gentlemen, love you. Look forward to next Wednesday. Thank you for Duda. Big shout out for Duda because we're powered by Duda. Big shout out for TheCamel.co. All access. As I said before, 1,000 times, do what you do best. Outsource the rest. Partner with us at All Access. That rhymed.
Wow.
Did you hear that?
You're powered.
I'm a rapper.
Wow.
I'm a rapper. Mem, move over, baby. All right, love you all. See you next Wednesday. Going to be great. I'm going to get the glasses fixed. And I hope you like the shirt. Love you all. Mwah.